In order for us to calculate your points in real time, you will need to submit your form at the end of each round. This will bring you to an Edit Your Response page. Click on Edit Your Response, and then under the Pick a Round menu, select the round that we're playing. For example, here is the History round, and you can see all of the answer fields for you to fill in as you're playing along. Once you've filled those in, click Submit, Edit Your Response, and then head on over to the next round of gameplay. Again, here we've picked the Serial Killer round, click Next. All of the answer fields are there, and once you're finished, click Submit, and then edit your response once again.
While you right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Now you're in your breakout rooms, and I'm probably just talking to myself as the YouTube video loads up. While that's going on, we're going to play two songs for you. So the first one is one from Toy Story. There we go. It's only a minute and a half. And then we'll do another song, which is a bit of Duran Duran. You're all boogie into Wham. We'll see how you feel about Duran Duran. Try and get your team names in by the end of the second song. Best of luck. I'm going to say your time starts now. It's not really time, but here we go.
You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old past said. Boy, you got a friend in me. Yeah, you got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got trouble, and I got them too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. If we stick together, see it through, 'cause you got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. Some other folks might be a little bit smarter than I am, big and stronger too. Maybe, but none of them will ever love you the way I do. It's me and you, boy, and as the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me.
All right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Just waiting on the team names. Still, Michael is in there. One of the teams swapping around the team captain. So while they're doing that, we do have another song for you. So here we go. Let's see. What have we got? I get to pick now. I get to pick whichever one we've got on the playlist. Although lots of them are theme-based. So let's try and find That's all right. We'll do this one. It's a bit of a classic. Here we go. Room 2 are up and running, ready to go. Very, very well done. Breakout Room 2. Give you a round of applause. So Breakout Room 1, still waiting on your team name. Breakout Room 2, you are set, ready to go. Forget those brains in gear. We'll be starting in just a moment. On the game show this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Let's give them a massive round of applause. Yes, there we go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, it's been a little while since we've been in the virtual game show environment. We've been going around the country doing it on a road show. But now we're back in a virtual game show afternoon. Welcome and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Bucket Races, a journey through the history of game shows, a 90-minute interactive head-to-head bespoke game show experience where you're competing in two teams to see who's going to earn the most points and be crowned Bucket Races, a journey through the history of game shows champion. Now, first things first, we need to see who we've got on the game show this afternoon. We've got two teams. We've got Risky Quizness and What a Racket, ladies and gentlemen. So, round of applause for those two teams there. We're going to be giving our points to What a Racket for originality. Risky Quizness, we've had that team name a lot. That's the only reason why. It's not a bad team name. We've just had it quite a few times. So, very well done there to What a Racket. You are off the mark with a point. Round of applause for you. There we go. Now we've seen the teams, we need to see what we're going to be tackling this afternoon. Let's take a look at the game show timeline. There we go. We're going to go from the 1930s to the modern day. Now, our game show always begins in the 1930s. That's because the first ever game show came out of the UK, in fact. It was converted from radio, and that was 1936. It was called Spelling Bee, and its format was simple. Teams of established organisations would go head-to-head at spelling the most correct words. Now, it was the only game show of the 1930s, so come and join me for our first round this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Spelling Bee!
For the second time, the battle is on, and Pathé Gazette is privileged to present exclusive pictures inside Broadcasting House, with spelling master Tom Woodruff at the table on the right. The British spellers you will see at the microphone are first actress Fabia Drake, second Secretary Margaret Baines, and third schoolboy J.E. Killick.
Hello! Welcome to Spelling Bee. The rules are simple. Spell the word correctly and you'll get your team the points. I shall read 2 words to you in total and you'll have around 20 seconds to work out their spelling. I shall now read to you your first words. Your first word is verdancy. That's verdancy. I shall now use it in a sentence. I was surprised when I visited Scotland by the almost rainforest-like verdancy of the gardens. Verdancy. Your second word is nudisturgeon. That's nudisturgeon. I shall now read it in a sentence. Nudisturgeon is one of the only words not in the iPhone dictionary. It means the day before yesterday. Nudisturgeon. And that's it for Spelling Bee, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. And good night. There we go. Now, depending on how quickly these come in, no, we're going to go to the next round. We'll come back to this round later on and show you the answers. But for now, we're going to head on over to, first of all, the 1940s. But actually, we're going to skip over this era because there weren't any game shows in the UK. Well, there was one. It was a televised version of charades. So we saved that for Christmas. All of the game shows you see on the screen were in the Americas. UK television production had shut down. We were in the throes of the Second World War, meaning we're over to the 1950s. And that's when game shows in the UK really started to take off. Different game show formats were popping up left, right and centre. And we were introduced to the first ever music formatted game show. It was this one.
Name That Tune, brought to you by Amazing Liquid Free Zone that removes corns and calluses, relieves pain fast. And now Free Zone presents Name That Tune. Yes, it's Name That Tune with Harry Salter's Orchestra and starring George DeWitt.
Thank you very much. Welcome to Name That Tune. This is meant to be an Elvis week. What's happened? It's falling apart. There we go. Right, look, keeping it. Anyone who's seen the film might be questioning what's going on. It looks like Kevin Keegan's had a very, very messy barbecue at the weekend. Anyway, welcome to Name That Tune. We've got 4 songs for you. One from the 70s, 80s, 90s and noughties. All you've got to do is try and name that tune. Now, there are a few curveballs in there, but it's a bit of a warm-up round because it is multiple choice. So, best of luck, ladies and gentlemen. First one, absolute cracker from the 1970s, but can you name that tune? Next up, here we go. One from the 1980s. Now, if you spent any time at home in the last couple of years, you probably ended up on YouTube trying to learn some new skills. If you did, you've seen this video instead, I'm sure. It was a #1 hit in the 80s in America, the UK, I think Japan, a few other countries as well. But can you name that tune? Next up, one from the 1990s, the beginning of girl power. Now, I was fortunate enough to see these guys in concert twice. There we go. They've become British icons, so ultimately I'm quite grateful. A massive hit for them, their first ever single, but can you name that tune? Finally, one from the noughties. Here we go. He's a rapper. He starred in a biopic about his own life. He's done lots of stuff. He went off the scene, but he came back for the Super Bowl this year. That was very good, in my opinion. Anyway, here's one of his big hits from the early noughties. But can you name that tune?
Look, if you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment, but you captured, just let it slip. Yo, his palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. So, what we're going to do, well done to What a Racket, you're in already. Let's go back. Let's take a look at, you can see Elvis in the 30s. Let's have a look at the answers to the first round. And then we will subsequently do the answers to this round as well. So, back to Spelling Bee. Yes, there we go. Verdancy. Both teams getting this correct. And then next up was Nudie Sturgeon. Well done for giving it a go, What a Racket. You weren't too far off. There we go. Nudie Sturgeon was the second word. So, good stuff. Both teams are in for the music round now. And there has been a difference in opinion. That first one is the main curveball. One team getting it right, one not getting it right. Let's take a look at the answers. Yes, Le Freak. Then it was... There we go. Never Gonna Give You Up. Wannabe. And then Lose Yourself. Come on.
Look, if you had...
There we go. Very well done. So, it looks like Risky Quizness. You've just taken the lead, but it's very early days. So, well done. We're going into the 1960s now. So, the 1960s did relatively little, for the most part, to alter the outlook of game shows. BBC Two launched the BBC launched a second channel, and it was for more serious programming, so game shows didn't make it onto the bill. But then at the end of the 60s, we did get the fantastic It's a Knockout, and if you haven't seen that, it's worth getting up on YouTube. It's absolutely brilliant. People in costumes over 10 feet tall participate in an outdoor obstacle course run with bungee runs, slime, turntables, you name it. And then at the end of the 60s, we did get a new game show. It finds itself in the Game Showing Hall of Fame, which I'll explain in a moment. It was this one. Yes, welcome to Questions of Sport, ladies and gentlemen. I've got my Beyond Borg look on. Right, now I mentioned this found itself in the Game Showing Hall of Fame. That is because it's the longest running game show to have never taken a break. And it's also, for the proportionate amount of time it's been running, had the least amount of presenters. It's just moved on to presenter number 4 with Paddy McGuinness. So there you go. 2 elements to put it into the Game Showing Hall of Fame. Now, don't worry if you're not a sports buff. We're not going to ask you to stretch your cranial muscles on sports trivia this afternoon. No. Instead, you're going to be placing your bets on our genuinely live, randomised, magnetised electronic horse racing rig. You'll see what I mean in just a moment. 4 horses to choose from. If you pick the horse that comes in first place, you get 3 points. Second place, 2 points. Third place, 1 point. Fourth place, no points. There are no points for each way. So saddle up. We hope you like horse puns. We're going to take a trip on down to the Bucket Race Derby. In lane 1, it's main event. In lane 2, it's maybe it's Maybelline. In lane 3, we've got naked. And in lane 4, it's financially stable. So place your bets now, ladies and gentlemen, because they'll be taking off any moment. I can hear the hoofs clicking and clacking. Oh, where are they? That's me. Where are they? Oh, there they are. Hang on, let's get to it. There we go. Place your bets. There they are, ladies and gentlemen. Right. Now, it's a 2-lap race. It's a 2-lap race. Here we go. Which horse will win? Oh, they're off. Not a bad start there by financially stable. Not a bad start. Looks like Naked is out of this one, but maybe it's Maybelline is out by a nose. Come on. Oh, what a corner there from main event. What a corner there from main event. But financially stable is coming out on the outside. I think Naked is out of this one. It's going to be main event by a nose, followed by financially stable, followed by maybe it's Maybelline, followed by Naked. Condolences there to What a Racket. Picking up 0 points. And unfortunately for you, Risky Quizness getting the whole hog with a full whopping 3 points for main event. Round of applause for that. Here we go. Come on. Very well done. If you put your faith in main event, you're walking away with 3 points. With that, we're back to the studio. Oh, there we are. Right. So the team out in front's got lucky on that round as well. Let's see if the fortunes change as we move on to the 70s. Now, the 70s was when the dawn of a celebrity became more ubiquitous. They were becoming more common within the media, and this whole idea of obsessions around celebrities was becoming more of a hit throughout the country. Now, we will be getting on to why that's important in just a moment, but for now, we're actually going to be going over to one of the most memorable game shows of all time. It launched in the 70s, and it actually was imported from the Netherlands. It became this.
Life is the name of the game, and I want to play the game with you. Life can be terribly tame if you don't play the game with two. And I want to play the game with you.
It's nice to see you, Yes, there we go. Hopefully a few people shouting that out at their computer screens at home. Now, this is Bucket Race's generational game. The original version of this game show saw people get into teams of 2, and those teams were always a generation apart, hence the name The Generation Game. They would go head-to-head on a series of wacky challenges throughout the evening, and the ultimate winners would have their chance at earning big points on the conveyor belt game. And that's exactly what you're going to be doing this afternoon. In just a moment, 15 items are going to pass by the screen. Then, a 1-minute countdown timer will appear, and you will need to try and recall as many of those items as you can. Once the countdown timer has finished, you will lose a point for every 5 seconds if you haven't submitted your answers. So, get them in on time, is what I would say. Finally, it's not extra points for spelling, you're just more likely to get the points for spelling. If you give us a completely different word, you're not going to get the points. The closer it is to the spelling, the more likely our system is going to recognise it as a correct answer. So try and spell the words as they are spelt on the screen. There is some leeway to that. But if it's a different word altogether, no chance. There won't be any points awarded. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 15 items. Best of luck. Time starts. Not time. Game starts now. Yes, there we go. Now, We used to own, well, we do own most of these still. Not the coffee terrarium, which comes up later. That's died. But there we go. There's a Polaroid camera. The moon. That's a cuddly toy, not a teddy bear. It's a cuddly toy. A robot money box. PlayStation 1. PlayStation Uno. The first ever edition. Lava lamp. Baby Groot. Dollar bill loo roll. Mario Kart 64. What a classic. Kart with a K, I should say. Crystal Maze Ball, very appropriate for a game show. Adult Heelys. Coffee Terrarium, which is no more. And a snow machine, which is on its last legs as well. And finally, a bucket race trophy. We've got loads of those. Oh, sorry, finally, a pipe. That's what I meant to say. Best of luck. 1 minute now. How many of those items can you recall? Time starts now. Gentlemen, so get to see backstage now, which is just me on a floating screen in the middle of nowhere in the abyss. So time for me to check. Well done, what a racket, well on time. Here we go. Risky Quizness. You've got about 3 seconds left. Where are they? Oh, they're in. Oh, on the buzzer. Risky Quizness, very well done. Right, here we go. Let's go back, let's take a look. Oh! The Comeback Kings, Risky Quizness. 11. That's 11. Oh, no, they're not the Comeback Kings. They're out in front, aren't they? Right, let's take a look at the answers. Here we go. I believe in you. What a racket. Here we go. Let's look at the answers. Come on, then. 11. That's very good. We've got a Polaroid camera, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. The moon. Now, that was a cuddly toy. Not a teddy bear. Cuddly toy. Robot money box. PlayStation 1. Lava lamp baby Groot. Mario Kart 64. Crystal Maze Ball. Very well done. Adult Heelys. Coffee Terrarium. A snow machine. A bucket race trophy and a pipe. There we go. Now with that, we're going to be heading on over to the 1970s again, ladies and gentlemen. So let's take a little look. In fact, we're going to go straight into the next game show round, I should say. I mentioned that celebrities have become all the rage, and they started being invited onto game shows as panelists, and this next one sums that up better than any other, if you ask me. Yes, welcome to Blanket Tea Blank. So hopefully, I mean, you probably don't need a blanket at this time of year, but maybe you've got a cup of iced tea and you're ready to fill in the blanks. Now, the original version of this game show saw celebrities and contestants try and match their answers on fill in the blank statements. We don't have any celebrities in the studio today, but we do have the answers that they gave in the 1970s. So you need to try and match your answers with the answers that they gave back then. Best of luck. Now, the first one is multiple choice, and then they get a bit more tricky. So, Delilah cut off Samson's hair to sap his strength, but I just heard that first she cut off his blank to slow him down. So tell us, do you think it was, did our celebrity say A, legs, B, moustache, C, beard, or D, rations? Next up, you just got to fill this one in. There is no multiple choice. James Bond was so drunk he couldn't even blank straight. And then third of all, I wanted to get my shades of love. We are in the 70s. There we go. We asked our audience, which one of these phrases is the most popular? Mind your own business, mind your step, or mind your language. So, which one of these was the most popular in the 1970s? Best of luck. Send us your answers and we'll go back, we'll reveal what the answers are. Right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Answers in. Let's take a look at what the answers now. We're going to hear some funky Magnum PI type music now. Here we go. First up, we asked our audience which one of these phrases. No, we didn't. We asked them to match the statement on Delilah cut off Samson's hair to sap his strength. But I just heard that first she cut off his legs. That was legs to slow him down. So well done, one team getting out. Next up, both teams getting this. James Bond was so drunk he couldn't even shoot straight. And finally, neither team getting this. I mean, it's a bit of potluck, isn't it? Mind your language was the most popular phrase out of those in the 1970s. So very well done if you got that correct. With that, we're back to the studio. Here we go. And we'll move over onto the 80s now. So, in the 1980s, we had the beginning of the digital revolution. Computers were finding their ways into people's homes across the nation, and they also found their ways into television production. We got some very futuristic shows like The Krypton Factor, which you can see behind there. Now, we do play a version of that on a different game show, but not this afternoon. We're going to be heading on over to a game show that decided to go for a different spin. This was the first ever television show to be broadcast on the newly created Channel 4. And it was also the beginnings of the now omnipresent Carol Vorderman's career. They decided to strip out all the technology, keep things simple, and go back to basics. It was this one. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Final Countdown! Yes, Final Countdown. It's our version. The bit 8 out of 10 cats does countdown because I'm in a fish tank. There we go. Now, we don't want you to just spell the longest word. In fact, we want you to spell an 8-letter, a 7-letter, a 6-letter, and a 5-letter word. Now, there are no points for 4-letter words because we decided it was too easy, and there are no 9-letter words with this combination of letters. So if you get an 8-letter word correct, you're going to get 4 points, a 7-letter word 3 points, 6-letter word 2 points, 5-letter word 1 point. So give a go for each one of those, but only give us one answer per box, please. So best of luck. You're going to have 2 questions in this game show round, so no need to submit your answers until the second question. This is the first one, 8 letter, 7 letter, 6 letter and 5 letter word. Time starts now. Now, as I promised, we've got one more round of Final Countdown! Yes! Yes, it's the famous Final Countdown conundrum. It's an anagram. You need to rearrange the letters to make another 9-letter word. Don't send us an 8-letter word. Don't add extra letters. Don't take letters away. Use the letters on the screen. Rearrange them to make another 9-letter word. Best of luck. Time starts now. There we go. So let's have a look. See, send us your answers when you're ready. We'll go through some 8-letter and 7-letter words. We won't do 6 and 5. There's just too many. Partly why we didn't do 4. It's too long to program every word. There's just too many of them. Oh, go on, Risky Christmas. Oh, there we go. Not bad from both teams there. Here we go. Let's have a little look. Right. We're going to go through. Neither team getting a 7 there. Surprising for Risky Quizness, because you could have just taken the S off the end of dribbles. So for 8 letters, you could have had dribbles or dibblers, which is a little woodland critter. We've had that answer submitted about 8 times, believe it or not. So I don't know if we've got some animal conservationists who do these game shows, but dibblers is a word. Then for 7, you could have had a dibbler, dribbles, a dribble, birdies, bridles, among multiple other combinations. And then, well done, both teams getting this. Scavenged! Now, anyone who knows anything about what we do knows that we started with scavenger hunts with a twist. So sticking with our bread and butter, scavenged is the name of the game. And we're in London as well, just in case you ever want to do a scavenger hunt, let us know. Right, next up, 1980s. There we go, bit of a plug for us. We've got one more game show round in the 80s. This was the Americas breaking back into the UK markets. They had struggled to do so for quite an extended period of time, from the 1950s through to the mid-80s. All of our game shows had come from Europe or been created internally. That was until this one. Yes. There we go. So 12 countries still have Reel of Fortune. The UK no longer has a version, but we did have one starting in the 80s that ran for a little while, and lots of people have heard of it, so we're going for it. Right. We've got 2 questions for you, ladies and gentlemen, like the last round, so no need to send your answers until the end of this round. First one's the word wall. You can see next to me there. There you go, if I can bend my thumb. You need to fill in the blanks. We'd like the correct answer, and we'd like the funny alternative that somebody gave in front of a real studio audience in the 1980s. So, you're going for the real answer and the funny alternative. What I'll say about the funny alternative is, if you get either of the first 2 words correct, you will get a point. So there's 2 points up for grabs for that. They did get the artist correct, so no points for that. So best of luck, ladies and gentlemen. Real answer, funny alternative. 1 minute. Time starts now. Yes, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. So, no need to submit your answers just yet, as I'm going to be coming into a breakout room, and they're going to have a go at spinning our reel. So, best of luck. Now, if you're not the team that I come into, don't worry, you're still in the game. You're going to try and guess the colour that they're going to land on. But the team whose breakout room I come into, there's a bit more up for grabs. So, if I come into your breakout room, the person streaming YouTube, please mute the YouTube video and stop sharing your screen. Otherwise, you're going to hear me twice. So, if I come into your breakout room, mute YouTube and stop sharing the stream. You can load it back up when I leave. Otherwise, you're going to hear me twice. I'm on the way in now. Here we go. Right, ladies and gentlemen, where am I ending up? Where am I ending up? We will find out. And stop sharing the stream. You can load it back up when I leave. There we go. Hear me. I'm in. Now. Here we go. Oh, and look at that. Listening to the instructions. Very, very well done. Round of applause for... Well, where's your team then go? This is what a racket, isn't it? Very well done. How are we doing?
Yeah, that's us.
Good, thanks.
Good
50-50
stuff.
chance.
50-50, there we go. So there's a bit more up for grabs for you guys. Ruby Murray, you're here. I've just seen he's back. There we go. Round of applause. Go on. Loving that. Right. There we go. Very adept as well. There's a Wimbledon spin on that somewhere, I think, as well. There we go for Andy Murray. Right, ladies and gentlemen. Best of luck. We're going to show you the reel now, and you're going to have a go at giving it a spin. So, here we go. Let's get into the... There it is. You'll see it in just a moment. I'm loving the moves from you guys. Everyone at PWC's got a good bit of rhythm. There we go. Oh no, you're dizzy. Oh no, it's gonna be spun in a minute. So we'll spin it the other way, Matthew, and then you feel all right.
Yeah,
right.
Wind me back. That'd be great.
Okay. Right. Here we go. Now that's the reel. You can see, I'll talk you through, I can see you leaning in, I'll talk you through everything that's on there. Now, last team we did this lost a point. You don't want to do that. Things can go the other way though. So, you can end up passing. If you end up passing, I go into the other breakout room. You could end up landing on 1 point, 2 point, 3 points. They're all good. You could end up landing on 2 points and getting the chance to spin again. Or you could steal 2 points from the other team and add it to your own score. So that's a bit of a jackpot. Oh, see some nodding there. Right. Here we go. We know what they want. I'll tell you.
Our backs up against the wall. We're going to be spinning.
I'll tell you what, guys. I'll let you into a secret. The other team, they can't see you, but they can hear you. So before you spin, any words of encouragement or competition?
You're gonna lose.
Keep it simple. You're going down. Right. We've got Evan in the studio, guys. Now, I'll tell you what. He does a bit of calisthenics and he's training to be a stuntman. He once spun the reel so hard it came off its hinges. I always tell that story. That was 18 months ago, but you never know. He's got it down to a T, but it could happen again. So here's the question. Would you like Evan to spin the reel slow, medium or fast?
Medium.
Oh.
Oh, I don't know, sorry. What does it mean?
That's a decisive answer. How do you feel about medium, guys?
It's medium then, I guess.
Medium's good.
Oh, here we go. They've gone for a medium.
Back here, Abdul. Medium spin, please.
Right, I love that because most people just fast. We want to see it break, right? That's what most people say. So I love a team of individuals. Evan, give us a medium spin, please. There he is. There we go. All right. Here we go. What's it coming in at?
About 32 miles per hour.
Plus 3 points! Go on! Go on, Abdul! Yeah!
Did we win?
Yeah, you got 3 points. It's not bad.
Yes.
Makes up for the horses earlier on. Very well done. Very good. How you feel, guys? You're getting away with 3 points.
Great.
Yes, good. Right. So I'm going to be going back to my own little private breakout room. You can send us your answers for that round. Other team, send us your answers as well, please. We'll go back, we'll reveal the answers for the last round, and then we'll crack on with the show. Well done, guys. You've done really well there. They're going away with 3 points, ladies and gentlemen. That was what a racket. Let's give them a round of applause. Go on. There we go. Right. So, here we go. We're going to be going on to the answers now, aren't we? That's what we want. We're going on to the answers now. So, actually, have the team submitted. That's what I need to see. Then we can do the answers. Yeah, they're in. What a racket. You can't guess your own colour. Come off it. What are you on about? Don't think we don't keep an eye on it. That's getting deleted. Right, but you do get 3 points. So, and you've got that bonus point for your team name at the beginning. I've only just put that on. So here we go. Right. Let's look at the answers now. I Have the Wine by Johnny Cash. That was the funny alternative. The real answer is I Walk the Line. So both teams sing that. Sing that? What I'm talking about. Both teams got that right. It's because I sang the song, is what a Racket put, which is not a bad answer. Unfortunately, only points for I Have the Wine. Very, very, very well done. Now, we're going to go over to the 1980s, moving on to the 90s. We're going into my favourite era now. And that's because the 90s was the beginning of bigger sets and bolder ideas. You've got to think this is before the internet. So all the budgets for television production started to become huge because most people had a TV at this point and it was the only way to communicate to people. So we started seeing things like Gladiators and Noel Edmonds' House Party, or Noel's House Party, I should say. We got Mr. Blobby, and all of these more obscure concepts started coming out of the woodworks. Some of the game shows with bigger budgets and bigger sets and bolder ideas were designed for children with slogans like, "There are no parents around to stop you." So here we go. Now, if you're my sort of age, I'm 34, you probably wanted to be on some of these when you were growing up. Even if you didn't, you're going to get a chance this afternoon. Best of luck, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the first one from the 90s. It's this one. Yes, welcome to Losers Weepers. Now, this hair was pretty common in the beginning of the 90s. Neil Buchanan had it, the man who does Art Attack. Did you know that he had to deny that he was Banksy a couple of years ago? Anyway, that's what Banksy would say anyway. So he's not here, it's just me, and we're playing our version. The original version saw teams compete in a huge house without a front-facing wall. They would need to solve a riddle and find that item within the room to get the point. Now, you're going to be doing something very, very similar, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to give you a riddle. Then you need to find that item from within your own home. But you need to bring it back with you to the computer screen and take a photo. So there's 2 ways of doing this. You can either take a screenshot of someone holding it up, or you can, if you're the one already submitting and you're on your phone, you can do it on your phone. It's up to you how you want to do it. What I will say is that you don't get the points if you just take a photo of where it is already. No points, nil point. Best of luck, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the riddle. I'll give you a hug, but please don't hug, because I'll make you sweat if you get the wrong tug. 20 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Running shoes on. Go on. Come on. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we are. Right. That's a bit of a warm-up round for the next one. The next one is a video challenge. So you're going to either need to record the screen. You can use your phone. You can take a phone like that. Or you can record it on your own phone, or you can record your screen. Whatever you feel comfortable with. Let's check it out.
It's wacky, it's fun, it's crazy, it's outrageous. Fun house, a whole lot of fun, prizes to be won. It's a real crazy show where anything will go. Fun house, quiz is a race, real wacky place. Use your body and your brain if you want to play the game.
It's time for Fun House. Wacky contestants, messy games, the Fun Kart Grand Prix race, and a crazy chase to win lots of prizes. Now here's the guy who puts the fun into Fun House, Pat Shaw!
Yes, a quiz, a race, a real wacky place. It's Pun House. It's our version. Now, the original version of this saw people competing in, well, maybe in this circumstance, computing inside a huge indoor soft play zone with gunge, bungee runs, confetti, you name it. It was absolute chaos. Now, in keeping with the original game show, we have a challenge for you. In this next round, we're going to give you 2 minutes, and we invite you to find an item from within your own home or your office space, and you need to throw it up into the air and catch it behind your back 3 times in a row. 3 times in a row. So, there's a kicker to this. In keeping with the gunge, and we will be checking, you need to do it with your hands covered in slimy washing up liquid. So, most offices have a kitchen. If not, Catherine and Abdul, you can sit this one out and just enjoy the fun of watching everyone else give it a go. Anyone can give it a go. The more people that give it a go, the more chance you have of getting the challenge complete. So that's up in the air, catch it behind your back 3 times in a row. Send us a video of you completing the challenge and you get the points. There's 4 points for this, so it's worth doing. 2 minutes on the clock. Actually, I'll tell you what, I'll give you some suggestions. Someone once used an inflatable crocodile and they did really well, but you probably haven't got one of those, so you could use a sponge next to the washing up liquid, an apple, a ball, a cushion. It's up to you. You might not want to get washing up liquid on a cushion, but you get the idea. Don't go using the grand piano. It won't end well. 2 minutes on the clock. Best of luck. Time starts now.
Go!
Yes, well done if you managed to complete the challenge. Now, no need to send it to us just yet, because there's another part to this round. It also gives you a bit more time to upload the video. If you've got a brand spanking new phone and you filmed it in 8K, it can be a while. So, we've got another round for you. Best of luck. What a racket, because the last betting round didn't go so well. And this one, we've tried to recreate the Fun Kart Grand Prix race, which saw 2 teams go head-to-head on a wacky go-karting track, trying to collect tokens along the way. Instead, we've imported from America a 6-lane Hot Wheels drag race. Here we go. 6 cars to choose from, but there can only be one winner. You only get points for first place, 3 points if you get the leading car. Best of luck. Let's take a trip on down to the Pun House Grand Prix track.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Get on home.
6 to choose from. In lane 1 is Maximus Diesel. Lane 2 is Avocado. Lane 3 is Cardinal Sid. Lane 4, Too Fast, Too Furious. Lane 5, Carnivorous. And finally in lane 6, Caribbean. There you go, there's a little idea of what to expect. Which car will win, we shall see. Right, Evan, let him fly. Let him fly. Here we go. Oh! Lane 4, ladies and gentlemen. Lane 4. Lane 4. Meaning Too Fast, Too Furious is the winner. Oh, come on, Risky Quizness. What are you doing? How have you got that right? Right, here we go. With that, we're back to the studio. Oh dear, I've got to say, I was backing you all the way there. What a racket! Unfortunately, Risky Quizness got they got that one correct. There seems to be luck in the air sometimes with teams that do well on the betting rounds, and they seem to just keep doing well throughout. I don't know what it is. Right, don't fear. What a racket. You're still in it. I'll tell you what, the points at the moment, but the next few rounds can really change things. So the points at the moment, Risky Quizness, you're on 41. That's a pretty big score. Let's give him a round of applause. But you're not too far behind. What a racket. You're on 28. Now, these final few rounds can change things. We've also got to verify the video challenges, so we'll make sure both teams did those correctly. And what a racket. You're looking good. Right. We're in the 90s now. We're about to embark on the most successful game show of all time in terms of worldwide distribution and longevity. This next game show came as a result of Sky Television, for example, becoming one of the leading or a competitor to terrestrial stations. And it meant that the terrestrial stations were trying to capture back their audience. And they took a big risk on this. What you need to know is up until this game show, the biggest prize money was £20,000. And then suddenly, at the end of the 90s, this happened.
Tonight and for the next 10 nights, you'll be watching British quiz show history. For the first time on UK TV, we have a top prize available of £1 million. And it could be won here tonight. No tricks, no traps. Join us now for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
I'm on mute. Yes. Welcome to You Want to Be a Millionaire. You got to see me do that twice. Right. Unlike the original version of this game show, if you get a question wrong, you can continue. And remember, there are no lifelines. The questions range from the easiest to the hardest. And the harder they are, the more points they are worth. 15 points up for grabs in this round. Best of luck, ladies and gentlemen. Come and join me now for You Want to Be a Millionaire? Question number 1, which is of course for 1 point. Which tool was used as a weapon by the Norse god Thor? Is it A, pliers, B, a hammer, C, a screwdriver, or D, a saw? Question number 2, for 2 points. For 2 points, what is the name of the classic dessert consisting of sponge cake and ice cream covered in meringue? Is it A, Bait, Rhode Island. B. Bait, Wyoming. C. Bait, Connecticut. Or D. Bait, Alaska. Question number 3 for 3 points. Which of these religious events is celebrated in Hinduism? Is it A. Diwali, B. Ramadan, C. Hanukkah, or D. Whitsun? Question number 4 for 4 points. Which toxic substance is obtained from the pressed seeds of the castor oil plant? Is it A. sarin, B. strychnine, C. ricin, or D. cyanide? And finally, genuinely a £1 million question. In the history of motorsport, which of these iconic races was held first? Is it A. Le Mans 24 Hours, B. Monaco Grand Prix, C. Indy 500, or the D. Isle of Man TT? And when you're happy with your answers, click submit and we will go back, we'll reveal what the answers are. We'll do the scores again and then we'll head on over to the next round. Not long left, ladies and gentlemen. 3 rounds after this. So this can be a bit of a game-changing round. We will see how the teams fare. 15 points up for grabs. And then the final 3 rounds as well. Not bad. What a racket. Not bad. Where are you, risky quizness? We will see. Oh, they're in. Right. Oh! What a racket, making a comeback. Let's have a look at the answers, ladies and gentlemen. Both teams getting this absolutely correct. Hammer is the weapon used by the Norse god Thor. Baked Alaska is the dessert consisting of sponge cake and ice cream covered in meringue. Diwali is the festival of lights celebrated in Hinduism. Ricin is the toxic substance from the pressed seeds of the castor oil plant. And finally, Isle of Man TT was the first of those motorsport events to begin. With that, we're back to the studio. Now, you've narrowed the gap to 9 points. What a racket. But let's see. So far, these types of rounds haven't been in your favour. Here we go. We're over to the noughties. And this was the dawn of reality television. Game shows went out of fashion for quite a long period. They tried to push themselves to their extremes to stay on air. Fear Factor was one of those. But it didn't work. They were replaced with things like X Factor, Britain's Got Talent, Pop Idol, you name it. That was, of course, until game show god Noel Edmonds returned to the scene. 3 points up for grabs. 2 identically sealed boxes and no question except for 1. Deal or no deal? Yes, welcome to Banker's Deal, where Noel Edmonds has gone feral during lockdown. Right, here we go. 3 points up for grabs, 2 identically sealed boxes. Now, what I will say is that one of these boxes contains 3 points, the other one contains -3 points. So all you need to do is decide if you want to swap or no swap. Now, the box with me here, this box, this is your no swap box. The box above my head, that one there, that is your swap box. So in your teams, decide, do you want to swap or no swap? We're going to give you 30 seconds. Oh, wonder who that could be. Right, there we go. You might have guessed that was the banker. He said he's betting on the Ruby Murray to make a comeback. And he says he wants to give you a safe option to try and lure the other team away from getting a betting round to their favour. So, he's offered you 0 points. So now, you can swap, no swap, or take the banker's deal. It's up to you. 0 points for the banker's deal. It's the safe option. We'll give you 30 seconds to make those decisions. Time starts now. Yes, let's see how the teams have fared. What are you gonna do? God, I look like a toad. I look like a hairy toad. Right. Oh, risky quizness. Will it pay off? The banker has lured you in. Risky quizness have taken the banker's deal. What a racket. What have you done? We will find out. They've gone for it. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, this is your no swap box. Oh, it's upside down, but it's plus 3 points. Go on, what a racket. You're back in it. Coming away with 3 points. Risky quizness. You're stuck with a banker's deal. Will those tactics pay off? We'll find out. Now, Evan, give us a reveal of there he is, of the other box. Just to show you guys, no funny business, there was -3 in the swap box. What a racket, pulling it to within 6. Oh, we're in the noughties. I can lose my beard now. So, we've got 2 more game show rounds for you. In fact, we're going over to the 2010s now. And in the 2010s, we started having all of these different ways of watching television, all of these different platforms, this, that, and the other. And this first one ended up on a new daily broadcasting time slot of 5 PM. For whatever reason, due to all of the different ways we watch stuff now, a lot of the terrestrial stations decided that they wanted a 5 PM time slot for game shows, and now there are always game shows on every day of the week at that time. One of those game shows was The Chase, which you've probably heard of. This is their direct competitor over on the BBC. It's this one. Yes, welcome to Scoreless, where the aim of the game is to try and find the obscure answers and avoid the easy ones. We've got 2 questions for you in this game show round. Each correct scoreless answer will earn your team 4 points. So, remember, that gap is narrowing. Now, a scoreless answer is an answer that nobody in our social media survey gave us. So the following 2 questions, we asked our social media audience to give us an answer. And we're looking for answers that they didn't give. They could give as many as they wanted, list as many as they wanted, and the scoreless ones are the ones that nobody gave us. Now, we used a sample of 100 people. And this next one's tricky because most of these were answered. There are only 2 missing. So for the next one, there are only 2 possible scoreless answers. And then the second question is a bit easier. So best of luck with this. You've really got to rack your brains for it. So let's come and play the first round of Scoreless. So we asked our social media audience, name a Beatles top 40 single with a 3-word title. So they only missed 2. There are only 2 answers for this. You can have a minute to discuss with your teams and try and come up with a scoreless answer. Only send us 1 answer. 4 points if you get it. Best of luck. Time starts now. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. So, no need to send us your answers yet. We've got one more round of Scoreless! Here we go. I think there's 11 answers for this, so you've got a bit more leeway. We want you to give us a national flag that contains the colour green. Now, we're looking for a scoreless answer. That's an answer that nobody in our social media survey gave us. We are only accepting countries recognised by the UN as a sovereign state. So there's 194 of those. Best of luck. 1 more minute. A national flag that contains the colour green. Time starts now. Okay, get them in. Let's see. Now, I'm not going to reveal if anyone has a scoreless answer, especially as it's so close. So we're going to keep the tension until the end. We will go through what the answers are. As I said, I will not reveal if either team gets a scoreless answer. So, well done. One team is in already. Let's go. What a racket. Get them in. And then we'll go back, we'll reveal the answers, and then there is a final round. There is a final round. So, here we go. For the Beatles, as I mentioned, there are only 2. Ain't She Sweet and Baby It's You. Ain't She Sweet was released with their original drummer, Pete Best. And it did make it into the top 40. It was before Ringo joined the band. Highest charting single with the original drummer. And then Baby It's You was on their first album, Please Please Me. And it was a part of their touring act between 1961 and 1964. For the countries, they've had Azerbaijan, Bolivia, Central African Republic, Jordan, Maldives or Zimbabwe. You also could have had Sudan, Oman, Gambia or Zambia. So very well done if you got any of those at home. With that, we're going back to the studio. And we're heading into the final round, ladies and gentlemen. This final round has been largely popularised through YouTube, which is one of the new ways that we watch media now. We've got YouTube, Facebook, Netflix, Instagram Live, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus. I mean, it's going to keep growing. So I'm going to run out of time to say all of the things at one point in the future, I'm sure. This next one, as I said, has been largely popularised through YouTube. It's been on primetime television in the UK and the US. It's this one.
Good evening, and welcome to Minute to Win It.
10 games, each 60 seconds. Playing with household items can make you $1 million.
Now, it's Minute to Win It.
The game begins in 3, 2, 1.
There we go. Right. Welcome to 2 minutes to win it. Gives you an extra minute to prepare. We're going to show you a blueprint for the game now. Best of luck.
Face the biscuit! The human face composes of lots of muscles, with the main ones helping to make a smile or frown. In this challenge, you must move a biscuit from the forehead to the mouth, using only the muscles in your face. If a biscuit drops, you must take another and start again.
Yeah. So, there we go. Now, don't worry if you don't have a biscuit. We'll accept anything that is round and sanitary and not a choking hazard. There you go. That's the criteria. So, you could use a cookie or a biscuit. Either of those are fine. You could use a cracker. You could use a bit of rice cake. You could use a crisp. You could use a slice of carrot. Still hasn't been done. I suggest it every time. Don't go use a bit of banana though, because it'll just get stuck. You don't want that. Best of luck, ladies and gentlemen. Same as the pun house round. If you need to video the screen, or you can screen record, or whatever you like, send us those answers. We're going to be pulling you out of the breakout rooms when the timer ends. Almost instantly, you'll get a countdown, and then we'll do the scores. So best of luck, ladies and gentlemen. It's very close, as I'm sure you're aware. Will this make the difference? Time starts when the timer says so.
The game begins in 3, 2, 1.
Go. Where are we? Breakout room. Right, I've already left. Okay. Right, Michael. Yes, Ruby Murray, you're already back.
Video in.
Right, there we go. They're on the way back in. Here we go. They're on the way back in. Right. Have the teams uploaded yet? We shall see. Oh! We're just watching to make sure there's no funny business on the Pun House round. So, here we go. Now, we've had your submission, Risky Quizness. What a racket. Did you manage to do the final biscuit challenge? Oh!
Yeah, I'm just uploading it.
You're uploading it? Are you willing to
Yeah.
show us now? We can highlight the screen. How do you feel? Who did it, Catherine?
Ruby Murray, but it wasn't successful.
Ah, you tried it! I know! Come on! Wow, here we go. They were going
to the mouth. We didn't get it in the mouth.
Right.
I wasn't sure if I had to go all the way in.
You got to get it to the mouth and sort of you got to get a clean grip on it. You don't have to.
Yeah. I couldn't time that. We were close.
Come on, we'll give him a round of applause for honesty, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. You'd be surprised how many teams would be like, yeah, we did it, yeah. And they wait for us to check the video and we're like, you haven't even got a biscuit. What are you talking about? So, right, let's go on to the scores. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. It was exceptionally close. Here we are. Right. How are we feeling? Let's have a look. There's only 2 teams to reveal, so second will inevitably reveal first position. You feeling...
Just go straight first.
What's that?
Just go straight first.
Just go straight for first in there because it reveals second. That's not how we do it. We got to do it in the proper order. Here we go. Drum rolls, please. Now, on a commendable 41 points. No problems with that score, but not the leading score this afternoon. Very, very well done. It was my favourite team name. What a racket. Come on. There we go. I think they knew with the biscuit. They were making a comeback, but then in the final round, no one got a scoreless answer. In the final round, 52 points. Risky Quizness, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. Round of applause, please. Very well done. There you go, guys. Thank you so much for playing. We're doing way more in-person events now than virtual ones, so this was actually very nice for us. Thank you for booking, Matthew. Let's give Matthew a massive round of applause for organising, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. Yeah, he's like it. Cheers. That's it from me, ladies and gentlemen. That's it from Michael. We do lots of other games, and we are in London, if that's where your offices are based. I know there's a PWC office in London, obviously. So, other than that, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully we'll see you again. Finally, I will say, just because on the virtual front, things have gone very, very quiet, if you have the chance to leave us a review, that would be very helpful. We've put it on the chat. You just click the link, click what you thought, and that would be very helpful for us. We'd really appreciate that if you had fun, ladies and gentlemen. You were awesome. Round of applause for you. And that's it from me. We'll see you next time. Very well done. Cheers, guys.
Thank you very much. Cheers, thank you.
We can let the other teams show you. They did manage it. They did, or they've said they've managed it. There we go. Right.
We'll be the review of that. Who's done it?
Close. It was yeah.
Who managed to do the biscuit?
I semi.
Yeah, it was Semi did. So there was a little
It's good
flick.
enough.
Yeah, there's a little flick of a finger, but it was definitely around that area.
Fair enough. Well, at least
Plus,
you tried.
stale hotel room biscuits. I think it's acceptable.
Where did you get stale hotel room biscuits from, Townsend?
My handbag. In the traditional, steal them from the hotel room and leave them in the bottom of bag and then go, oh, and normally get rid of them. But this time, apparently, use them for a